Hello, good evening, and welcome to Birds of Essex for May 2025. How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing well. Nice to see you. I haven't seen you for weeks.
No, you've been like gallivanting around the entire world, and I've been
Oh, hold on.
stuck in sunny Colchester. Oh, what's happened? Have we gone wrong
Me.
already?
It's me.
Wow.
Do you
What?
know what? It's a great
Dude,
start, isn't it?
seriously, we're 30 seconds in and it's gone horribly wrong already. Should we start again?
We're good now. I'm on it. I'm on it.
Okay, brilliant. All right. Yeah, you've been
I'd forgotten
gallivanting
that you
around, and I've been stuck in Colchester. So yeah, it's been good.
I forgot that YouTube auto plays when it starts. It was like
Oh, I see. We were getting the echo.
echo.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Well
yeah,
done.
cool.
Well, to be fair, I don't blame you because we haven't done one of these. We haven't done a Birds of Essex since February, I don't think, have we?
No, no, we've had a few months off, haven't we? Because just been
Yeah,
busy with stuff, and but we're back for the
we
spring
are
edition.
back and refreshed and raring to go. And we have a packed show tonight. Look at that.
Loads of stuff, mate. Yeah, loads of
Oh, actually,
stuff.
no, it's my shopping list. Sorry. Hang on. Oh, that's the show. There you go. No, we have got a packed show. So we are going to try and rattle through. We were thinking of introducing a yellow card, red card system for each other. That if one of us starts waffling, normally me, Steve could just hold up a yellow card and then a red card, and I'd be off the show. So we might introduce that next month. We're not sure yet. Let us
Deadwood
know what you
jokes
think
night.
in the chat. Yeah, let us know.
Let us know. Yeah, let us know.
Okay, so contact screen. Let's just remind people how they can get in touch with us. I will bring that up, Steve, if you want to run through it.
Yep. So you can contact us when it starts. Yeah. So you can ask us a question in the chat. So just log into YouTube. You need a Gmail account for that. But you can log into YouTube and put anything you like in the chat within reason. Or if you've got any questions, you can email us at ebwstalks@gmail.com. And then we say every time we do this, if you're not a subscriber to our channel, please click on the little bell that's down below there,
Somewhere.
somewhere
Yep.
somewhere down below.
Yep.
We've got 849 subscribers. Be nice to get at least 850 by tonight, end of tonight.
Although with the way the show started, it's probably going to go down to 840 by the time we finish.
Maybe. I mean, if you
Probably.
like it, give us a thumbs up.
Yes. Yeah, that'd be good. Right. So we've got a photographic competition running at the moment, haven't we?
We have, yep, the spring
We have.
photographic.
Exactly. The spring photo competition, and people can still vote. The voting in the final is open until 8 o'clock. So let me just share this. Hopefully you can see a screen.
Yep.
Pretty good. So if you go onto our website at ebws.org.uk, as always, and on the front screen, you'll see this picture of a yellow wagtail. And if you click on the picture, you'll come to this screen here. And you can scroll through the four finalists. When you've chosen your favorite, if you click just here, I'm not going to do it because you might see results and things. But if I click here, then it goes through to a second screen and you can then tick the one that you want or put a blob in it and then click vote at the bottom of the screen. So the four finalists are, should we do these in turn? You go first.
So we've got a firecrest, lovely singing firecrest.
Lovely. We've got a mute swan and a hooper swan in virtually synchronized flight shot, which is nice.
We've got a pair of pintail in flight.
Like the background on that one, that's nice.
Yep, nice.
And we've got this. Now, there's a bit of a story behind this particular picture, isn't there? So
There is a
it
bit.
came
Yep.
came came into me, and basically they all come in. And I do them all at once. And I downloaded it, and as you can see, it's Mediterranean gull. And I had a quick glance. And I saw quite red feet and a kind of a quite whitish underwing. Didn't really look at it much more closely. But when I was uploading the pictures to go to the semi-final stage, I looked at this picture a bit more closely, and something about the head of it looked a little bit black-headed gull to me.
Yeah.
And then good friend and society member Darryl Rhymes texted me the other day, and he said, "I think that med gull might be a black-headed gull." So I'm not sure. I mean, it does have, I think, the wing markings as well, possibly. I don't know. It's difficult. So
Mm.
I don't know what you think, Steve.
Yeah. I think it
But
might be a black-headed gull as well.
yeah, I mean, this does look pale, but then it obviously the exposure is difficult. So there is some darkened feathers on the underwing, which you get with the black-headed gull. You can't see the white trailing edge, but it's just a head which I must admit I didn't look at when I originally posted it. I saw the legs and the white here and just thought,
Yeah.
okay, Mediterranean gull. So not sure, not 100% sure. What we're probably going to do is call it a Mediterranean black-headed gull.
Yep. Sounds good to me.
A
Covers all the
black-headed gull
bases,
from
doesn't
the
it?
Med. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
But either way, it's a nice picture, so I don't think the species matters too much. It's a nice capture. So if you want to vote on the finalists, have a look on ebwstalks.uk, click on the picture of the yellow wag, go down, click there, and follow the instructions.
Cool.
Thank you very much. Right, we're going to ask the people some questions, aren't we?
We are.
We are.
I've got to read it. I'm just trying to see what we're asking them.
Okay. Well, we're going to ask, what have you been up to since the last Birds of Essex in February? Um, is anyone missing any of the summer migrants? So are you expected to have seen maybe, I don't know, a swift or a swallow or a cuckoo or a turtle dove, and you haven't seen one of those yet? So, or is there another species you haven't seen yet? And talking of turtle doves, if you have seen one, let us know in the chat, and don't forget to um, report your sightings of turtle dove, particularly. 'Cause it's an important bird to record. And there's also Operation Turtle Dove are running. They've got a website up and running. It tells you lots of stuff about turtle dove and how you can help them and how you can support them. Um, Mentioning reporting birds, we were going to mention about the photo competition as well, weren't we? So, do you want to do this bit, Steve?
Yeah, so obviously, when you're out birding and stuff, taking photographs or just reporting your sightings, just be very, very aware of like posting sensitive species. There are still lots of dodgy people out there that will. Egg collectors are still out there, and obviously the bird's welfare comes first. So, yeah, please just be aware when you post stuff on social media or websites or stuff like that, please.
Yeah, particularly this time of year with the breeding season as well.
Yeah,
You know, if you find, let's again pick on turtle dove, why not? Because they're lovely. But if you find a turtle dove in an area that maybe they haven't been recorded before, it is exciting. You do want to tell people about it. But as Steve said, just please bear in mind the the sensitive species do need our protection.
yeah,
And you can always report the sightings late in the year, November, December time. It's probably okay to do so by then. But putting pictures all over Facebook and stuff, if you can avoid that on some species, that would be really, really useful, please.
yeah, absolutely.
Right. Okay.
Lots of people watching quickly tonight, Matt.
Pretty good.
Richard Chew, Liz Huxley, Colin Undrill, John Peacock, Brian Presley, Jan Lewis, Graham Mee, Christabel, Pete Dwyer, Paul Daughtry, Dave Webb, Mo Jackson, Lauren Hooper.
Hey, hi, Lauren.
Evening, Lauren. Annette, watching next door in the room. Chris Mee. Yeah, so good evening to all those who are watching. And then just quickly, a few people have come back already about the migrants, Matt.
Hmm.
Mo Jackson, no swift or spotted fly. Liz hasn't seen a little tern. Pete's not seen spotted fly or turtle dove.
Right.
So, yeah, still plenty of time. It's still early in the season.
Yep, I'm missing spotted fly and little tern as well. So, and to be fair, I don't think I saw a little tern the whole of last year.
I haven't seen anything this year in Essex.
You've not
I'm
been in
not been
Essex
here, to
this
be
year.
honest.
Right. So what we're going to be doing this show, we're going to be trying to tick things along. So we're going to be looking back at the field trips we've had since the last show, which is the Brex, the Lodge, and Dungeness. We're going to be quickly touching on the two indoor talks that we had about Goa and Corvids. We're going to be reviewing the stats from the BCBW that we had back in April. We're going to look ahead to this month's field trip, the final one of this season, which is actually next Sunday to Minsmere. We're going to meet the new society chair, which is good. And in the second half, we've got some pictures and sightings roundup, and we'll reveal the winner of the spring photographic competition. So yes, lots to come.
Action-packed show.
Absolutely right. So before we go, I'm not sure if we've done this before, but very, very briefly, we have got a new society chair. Paul Everett will be joining us shortly. We may have already thanked Jerry on here. I don't know if we have or not, but if we haven't, Jerry Johnson was our chair for 20 years, did a brilliant job. The society evolved massively through that period. Anyone who's a member can read that in, I think, the last issue of Essex Birding, all the things that were accomplished under Jerry's guidance. So just once again, thank you, Jerry. Sterling job, and I'm glad you're still hanging around on the committee for help and advice when needed, because you're great at that. Thank you very much. Right.
Jerry's just got stepped down to vice chair, hasn't he? So
he has, yes. Yes. Yeah, which
and
is
still
good.
doing the outdoor meetings role. So we can't get rid of him that easy.
You need to use personal automatic. It gets rid of things like, doesn't it? Or no, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Right. Anyway, we've done the feedback. Ebbs Bay. We're bringing back Ebbs Bay. We've got two things to talk about here. The first one is this. What do you think this is, Steve?
It's a little tiny scope. That is a little travel
It
scope.
is. It's a little tiny scope. So it's got a little tiny case. And this is a swallow, a Viking swallow. Hang on a minute. If I take it out of the case, and I can show you better quickly. There you go. I'll never be able to get it back in there, but oh well. So this is the Viking Swallow. It's a 12 to 36 times 50 scope. What I'll do very quickly, I think I've got some information I can just pop on the screen. I'm nicking this from another website, so they'll have to forgive me for doing that, but there you go. Viking Optical, 12 to 36 times 50. I'll leave the spec on the screen here while I just explain about this. So this was given to us by Roy from the Essex Wildlife Trust. He's asked us to hopefully see if anyone wants it and sell it on his behalf. And he's looking for £50. So I think it's quite reasonable. It's nice specification. You've got good eye relief there, 17 mil. So if you've got glasses, that will be fine. It's got a nice field of view, and 36 times mag is pretty good, really. And it's a very lightweight scope. You've got, if I just take this off now quickly, you've got a little cap on there and the eyepiece inside here, and it goes up and down, and that's your zoom, that's your focus, and then you've got a little objective cover at the end as well. So
Nice.
£50. If anyone is interested in this, if they can drop us a line at ebwstalks@gmail.com, and then we'll forward your details to Roy with your permission, and you can make arrangements with him. So yeah, very good. Thank you very much.
Cool.
That's that one. And then the final one is we've been contacted by Steve Nicholson, who has got lots of back issues of British birds. He said going through the things in his roof space because they're moving. They came across some oldish and bound issues of British birds for the years 1985 to 1997, plus unbound issues for the years 1998 to 2001. So if anyone wants those, I don't think he wants anything for them. So if any of you have collected British birds and missing some from those years, 85 to 97 are bound, 98 to 2001 are unbound. Same thing, drop us an email, ebwstalks@gmail.com, and we'll pass your details on. Right, that's that done. What's next?
Ground nesting birds.
Yes, I'll bring a picture up, Steve, if you want to have a talk about this. Hold on.
I don't know anything about it, to be honest.
I know you don't know what it is, do you? You're in here, sorry.
No clue. I'll talk about anything, mate.
I'll tell you what, let me put the picture up and you have a guess and see if you can know where this is going. Hold on, here we go.
Just reading the wrong sheet, mate. I'm just like...
This was kindly sent in by Roger Hance. And this shows...
back at disturbance again, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's just awareness, really, I think. So obviously, I'll let you talk about what you can see on the screen and what the message is there, really.
Well, so there's a couple of people who don't know what they're up to be honest. But anyway, but they've obviously disturbed the skylark.
Yeah. And basically, the idea with this is, again, this time of the year, there are lots of ground nesting birds around which you may not even be aware of or see or notice until you've disturbed them. So just please, people, be aware. I think everyone watching tonight probably is, but for anyone that watches this on catch up or anyone who isn't aware, stick to marked paths. If you're on like a long grassy meadow, keep your dogs on leads if you can. Same applies with salt marsh and at the beach as well, of course. Things like common ring plovers can easily be disturbed. So just be aware, really. And if you do disturb a bird, try and back off and put your dog on a lead and so on and so forth. So thank you for sending that picture in, Roger. I think it's a nice picture, actually, isn't it?
Cracking shot that is. But yeah, it's very important this time of year. You know, birds have got enough issues as it is without human disturbance. So yeah, just be very mindful, please.
Yes, definitely. Well said. Also, the Stour Webs team. So Webs stands for... I'm putting you on the spot here, aren't I?
The bird survey.
Yes, well done. So the Stour Webs team, the Wetland Bird Survey team, they are looking for volunteers to help out to basically cover the amazing area that's the Stour Estuary. It's from sort of Catawade in the west up to I think they go almost as far as Rabness in the east, um, and the north part as well. And it's a coordinated count, so it's organised by Rick Vonk from the RSPB and Ed Keeble as well. Ed's brilliant at organising the dates and the teams that are going to do the various areas. If you haven't done webs before, it's fantastic. I do the Catawade section. It's really good fun. You've done webs before, I think, haven't you, Steve?
Yeah, I used to do Old Hall Marshes and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, really good. Takes about probably 2.5, 3 hours, one Sunday a month. And the Stour team, I don't think they do May, June, July, if I'm correct. I think they do 9 months a year. Um, so if you are interested in getting involved, and you will be under somebody else's wing to start with, so you know what to do and how to do it,
Yeah.
please drop us a line, ebwstalks@gmail.com. And once again, we'll pass on your details. You know what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be emailing Rick Vonk saying that someone wants to buy his telescope, and I'm going to be emailing Roy at EWT saying that someone's interested in doing webs. You know?
Absolutely. You know it's going to happen. Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. Okay. Right. And the final piece in this section, I think there's a new book coming out. I don't know if
Okay.
you're aware of this. You might not be because you haven't really been um, around much. If I can find this, hold on.
No,
Here
I
we
don't know.
go. Yeah, anything on the chat while I'm doing this, Steve?
Let's have a quick look. Yeah, Dave Bissett's watching. Yeah, Richard Chew, grasshopper, warbler, turtle dove, nightjar, little tern. He's still got to see. So yeah, again, there's plenty of time for all those things.
Absolutely.
If not,
Uh,
wait till the autumn.
well,
It'll be autumn migration starts in a few weeks.
I know, it's mad, isn't
In
it?
fact, starts tomorrow.
Oh my goodness. I don't even
That's
want to.
depressing.
Don't
Anyway,
even want to
sorry.
think about. Although, to be fair, let me just. Actually, I won't share that screen. Stop that screen share. But if you can see in the little corner, my mug. I've got a
Christmas
Christmas
mug.
tree mug.
Comes you got Christmas. Oh no, I'm not even going to go there.
It's a big mug. I need a big mug of coffee to last through the show. So it's the biggest mug I've
Okay.
got. Merry Christmas, everyone. Right, I'm just going
Christmas.
to press play on this quickly. This is 25 seconds long. This has been sent in by a chap called Michael Warren. He's a nature writer with a new book out in June. I think it's out in about 3 or 4 days. Um, and there's a couple of book signing sessions. There's one in Colchester, one in Malden. And the reason he sent it in to us, there's a whole chapter on the Essex marshes in this book. And the marshes are the reason that his family moved to Essex. And he just loves the Essex coast and Essex bird life. So let me just press play on this really quickly. It tells you a bit more about it. Hold on. Okay.
Right, looks quite good. Looks good.
Yeah, I mean, it does look like it's going to be a good book. If I very, very quickly, uh, 'cause I really don't want to get behind tonight. We never manage it, do we? So I'm very
No.
keen on trying to do it, and we have got a lot to cram in. So for anyone that's interested, if you get your phones out and take a picture of this screen here, this is the Malden signing. I think Thursday, the 17th of July. Um, I think it's like a 5 to 10. I'm not sure what what's involved for that. Oh, there you go. So book and ticket combo is 22.50 or just fiver to go in and get involved and see what's going on there. And then also you've got the Colchester one. What is that? The 7th of June? Does that say, Steve?
7th of June. Yep. So a week
7th of June,
tomorrow.
next Saturday. Yeah, absolutely. So again, take a picture of that if you're interested. The booking information is down the bottom there. Us at redlionbooks.co.uk, and the other one is moldenbooks.com. Right, there you go. Done.
Cool. Excellent. Well done.
It looks interesting, that does. And I think Michael said he'd be interested in sort of coming and talking to us at some point, whether it be on the show or indoors or whatever. So you may see him in the future. Yeah.
Good.
Right. What's next?
BTO and BBC.
Right. Yes. So this is blackbirds. Now, you probably know a little bit about this, actually. Hang on.
Maybe, maybe
Yeah.
not.
No, I'm sure you do. All right, here we go. I'll let you talk about this. Let me bring this up.
Well, I know they're it's the national bird of Sweden, the common
Oh,
blackbird.
is it really?
Yep, there you go. Useless information.
That's brilliant information.
Us,
There.
I did know about the mosquito-borne
Yes.
disease. Yes.
Yeah. So this is a BBC page that was kindly sent in to us by Paul's wife, Jackie Everett. And it's basically just explaining briefly there's a disease that's being spread amongst our birds, particularly susceptible are blackbirds. And there is a survey that you can take part in. So it's spread by mosquitoes, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, as you can see there. And the survey is a BTO survey. So hopefully if I do this, it should go on to the next page. Can you see that?
Yep.
Excellent. So blackbirds
Good.
in gardens. So if you simply search on Google for BTO blackbirds in gardens, you should go straight to this survey, and you can obviously read about what it's all about
Yep.
and how to enter your data. And I think the idea is to get just a snapshot of how many blackbirds are around, really, and in
Yep.
what areas, because I think it's spreading. This disease is spreading from the south, isn't it?
It is. I mean, when we did our last bird ringing event, I think there was a lady from the Zoological Society of London that was taking blood samples for this mosquito-borne virus to
Hmm.
see whether it's present in other birds. I mean, hopefully, so far, it's just affecting blackbirds, but yeah. So yeah, it's a very important thing. So if you've got, I mean, I haven't seen so many blackbirds around here recently. So,
No,
but then
exactly.
they're busy nesting, and so they're a bit more secretive.
Well, I'm quite lucky because I've actually got nesting blackbirds in a bush at the bottom of my garden.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, I'm quite pleased about that. So they're there again at the moment. Every night I can see them, um, little blobs in the bush. So yeah, really nice.
Cool.
Right, next thing we're going to very, very quickly talk about. This is all kind of catching up on stuff that's happened in the last 2 or 3 months, but I'm going to show you this picture, and I don't know if you've seen this before. What about that?
Oh wow, swift foxes
Swift foxes, um,
and Jerry.
and Jerry, and a gentleman called Tony Wood.
Now, look, as anyone that knows Jerry, he's not the smallest guy in the world. Jerry's quite a tall guy. This guy's
Hmm.
huge.
Well, to be fair, that's the first thing I replied when I saw this picture. I thought, blimey, because Jerry's got to be, I don't know how tall he is, 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And this chap's, I don't know, 6'7", something like that. I don't know, but yeah, he's a very tall gentleman at the moment.
He doesn't need
Sorry,
a ladder. He doesn't need a ladder to put the boxes up.
that's what I said. I said no wonder they're getting him to put the boxes up. He's so tall. But I think he had an injured foot or knee or something. So hopefully, if he's watching, he's feeling a bit better, and that's going to get better soon. Um, But this was something that was brought to our attention by Society member Robert Malcolm. So thanks very much to him. He's been actively involved in trying to get some Swift boxes put up at a pub, a local pub to him that unfortunately, despite his valiant efforts, the brewery weren't able to accommodate this time. But he did manage to get Swain Park School in Rayleigh involved, and I think they've put up four. I might be wrong. It's either three or four Swift boxes. This is the one that Jerry's holding is one that was donated to the society a couple of months ago. I can't for the life of me remember the lady's name. I do apologise. I know we mentioned it on the show before. And then you've got another Swift box just here, and there's a little blue tip box here as well. So there's plenty of boxes going up around Swain Park School. So just really wanted to say thanks to Jerry. Thanks to Kerry at Swain Park School for emailing and sorting everything out. Big thanks to Rob. Thanks to Tony for putting them up. And yeah, brilliant. I think it's really good, isn't it?
Really worthwhile project that is. Yeah.
Absolutely. And can you imagine
And
the
again,
kids? If you've got the kids in the school,
yeah,
and
exactly.
yeah, if you get swifts nesting in the school, I mean, that'd be absolutely amazing.
It's superb. Might just inspire some youngsters take up the
Yes,
hobby, and yeah,
absolutely. Right,
really nice.
what's on the chat? Anything
So
coming
a
in?
quick look. John Peacock. He says he has two blackbird families close to him that have raised three chicks each.
Oh, brilliant.
So that's really, really, really cool. And I think that's it so far. I think, yeah, that's it. Yep.
Okay, so we're going to move on to brief bit of news about nightingales. Now, um, we spoke, I think it was back in February, because we've donated some money to buy some data loggers. Chaz
Yep.
Holt is ringing nightingales at Fingeringham and Abberton. I think this one's mainly concentrating around Abberton. I think I might be wrong there.
Yep.
Um, but the idea is to fit them with data loggers. So we put money forward for 6 data loggers. So thanks to all the members for their membership subscriptions because it is going to a good cause. And they're being fitted, and I think they fitted 5 out of the 6 so far,
Good.
which is pretty good. We will find more about this either later on a YouTube show or possibly even on an indoor talk at some point or an online talk. That's to be arranged because Chaz is quite busy, I think, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. This
But we
time of year
will
for him.
absolutely. I mean, he's a you know very good guy and heavily involved in all sorts of conservation aspects. But this is a picture that we got sent through by Tim Hayward, who's been helping out with this as well. So thanks, Tim. And it's really just to show, obviously, a nightingale that's just had a tag fitted. And I think these go on. They're a bit like a rucksack, aren't they?
Yeah, they're just a little rucksack. They only weigh a very small amount. Was all within BTO regulations, so no distress to the bird. Yeah, they're like a little rucksack.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're literally a couple of grams or something crazy. They don't weigh anything at all. But the idea is and they can be programmed, which I didn't know. They can take a reading kind of every week, every day, every hour, every month. And depending on the time of year and where the bird's likely to be, these readings are either increased or decreased. So that hopefully next year, one of these birds will come back and we can capture some information about where they spend the winter and that will help us to understand the habitat they need and maybe
Yeah,
help us to look after that habitat both here and even in foreign lands. So yes, that's really
absolutely.
good. Sticking with nightingales, we had an email come through from a lady called Christabel Lee. And she was asking for some advice on binoculars and telescopes and things, which hopefully I've helped a little bit with that. But she did put in other news after hearing her first nightingale on Neil Sumner's walk in Danbury Common during the Big County Birdwatch. She's been back every week to try and see one. And well, let me just press that. She's seen one.
Hey, yay, excellent.
Yeah. So
Doesn't back him.
she hid in the canopy of an oak tree in the rain, almost gave up, but then finally saw one. So that's fantastic. Now, this goes on. So she's put, then as seems to be the trend, I tried to generate a nightingale action figure. So let me just click. There we go.
Oh, wow.
So this is one of those AI generated action figure things. It's just a picture. It's not a real one.
Do you know, I thought
Um,
about getting one for us, mate.
well, so she said to here she wasn't happy with the Essex Birdwatching Society logo. So she tried, although she said the first one that she tried, because this is the final one, the first one that she tried oddly gave her a spare pair of legs and some sort of spare bird head. Do you want to see that?
Go on.
You
Yeah,
ready?
go on.
Right.
Yeah, go on. Oh, my word. That's a bit spooky.
That's pretty weird, isn't it? I mean, the legs aren't too bad. They're like tippy toes, but I'm not sure about the head. And I'm not sure about that great big twig thing either. And is that a bar of nightingale soap, do you think?
I've no idea.
I don't know what that is. So good old AI hasn't got that one quite right. So well done to Christabel for perfecting in the previous picture. But this did get me thinking. So
Oh,
while you've been away, I downloaded a picture of you off the internet. And
no.
I asked it to generate Steve Spotter Grimwade holding his favourite thing in his left hand. Now, that could have gone
Don't hurt
horribly
yourself
wrong.
here.
However, you want to see what happened?
I'm becoming hysterical.
Are you
I
ready?
hate to. If it's done that with a nightingale, what's it going to do with me?
Right, here we go. Three, two, one. Now, I think that's quite good. It
Your
doesn't really
legs,
look.
mate.
Well, yeah, I don't know about that, but I think it doesn't look that much like you. But it's not far off. It's not too bad.
Oh,
The goal, there's obviously something going on here. Coming back to photo competition, because I asked it to put a Mediterranean gull on there, and it's bunged a black-headed gull on there.
it's really cool, that is.
But yeah, it's quite good. So I then thought, well, if I'm going
I'll
to do
go after
you,
you.
good do you, I've got to do me, haven't I? So I put a picture of me onto AI and I said, make an action figure of me holding my favorite thing in my left hand. Are you
Oh,
ready? You ready?
go on.
What can I say? I mean, it's, it's got the scope, it's got the camera, it's got the bins, it's got the notebook.
Oh, I'm going to choke. Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, there you go. Anyway,
Oh
right.
my word.
I thought that'd be a little bit of fun. Well, that does actually
Got the
look
same
just like me,
legs.
doesn't it? It really looks like me, doesn't it? It's crazy.
Oh my word.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Anyway,
that's brilliant. Oh,
that's
made my eyes
that's
water.
quite enough of that. Right.
Oh, sorry for that. Have we offended anyone at home watching?
Yeah. Hopefully not.
Oh,
Fingers crossed. Has everyone switched off? There's no one watching now. I
yeah,
take
there's
it.
no one watching now. Oh my God, for those
Brilliant.
brilliant.
Okay. Right. So we're about ready to bring Paul in. I think voting has stopped in the final as well, which is good. So we'll be able to reveal that in the second half. Anything on the feedback at all while I bring Paul in?
Yeah, we've got just a couple of quick things. Richard Chew said there's been a long-standing campaign to make Swift bricks mandatory in all new build in properties, but the government, yeah, sadly have decided that it's not important enough, which is very sad. And then Nick Lay, I think this is, said that he's 10 years ago he would have been lucky to hear a nightingale on his patch, but he's got good numbers down there at the moment, which is really good.
Good.
And then Christabel's just said, "OMG, my nightingale action figure."
To be fair, I like the one with the spare legs. I could do with some of them, but there we go.
Me
That's a whole
too.
different story.
And then Nick's just said again that the Swift boxes do need cleaning out after each season. Um,
Yep.
so they obviously the schools will stuff will need to do that. And then
Yep.
quite a few people have commented on our John Peacock and Liz both said hilarious, best laugh today.
Uh,
um,
right, we have been joined by Society Chair Paul. Hello, Paul. How are you doing?
Hi, Matt. Very well, thank you. Hi, Steve.
Hi Paul, how you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. Good. Matt,
You,
I've just seen a text come through from McDonald's. They want to know whether they can use you in a marketing shot.
well, what can I say? My talents have no bounds. You'll be
Oh,
pleased to know
super.
we haven't done one of you yet.
Oh, thankfully.
Oh
Yes.
my god.
Yeah, yes.
Oh,
Oh dear. Yeah, so I just thought, I mean, first of all, thanks so much for coming on. There's a couple of reasons we've invited you on to the show. Number one, obviously, you're the new chair, so for anyone who doesn't know you, it's good to put a face to a name and for you to say hi. And also, neither of us were at the most recent field trip to Dungeness, and you led that along with Jerry and some others. So hopefully you can tell us a little bit about that in a while. But do you want to start off just by saying hi and maybe give us a quick, brief background of your birding and how long you've been with EBS, please?
Thanks very much. Yeah, so hi everybody. Um, it's a great honour to be voted in as the new chair. I've not been a serious birder for that long, really, about 5 years, and always interested in all things wildlife as growing up as a kid, and then life takes over and you get a job and you get stuck doing other stuff. And then I think started getting more interested coming back into it, and then COVID came along, and then eventually the government said we could all go out for a walk, and I went out for a walk one day with my binoculars and camera under my arm, and found my first ever great grey shrike,
Oh,
and
wow.
that just got me hooked. If I could find that just by going for a walk down by the local river, what else could I find?
Hmm.
Been involved ever since. Joined the committee a while ago as the indoor meeting secretary, and then Jerry persuaded me, along with others, to stand as the chair to allow him to stand back a bit after 20 years of hard graft.
Excellent. And you've made a very good start. Thank you very much indeed. And I know that you're going to take on what Jerry's passed over
Oh,
and
absolutely.
take
Yeah,
us into the future. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
absolutely.
We all work together, don't
Jerry's
we?
done a resounding job, absolutely
Yeah,
resounding
yeah,
job. Yeah,
yeah, definitely. Right. So thanks for that, Paul. We're going to talk about the field trips first of all. So I think you came to the Brex, didn't you, Paul?
I did. Yeah,
And Steve and I were both there as well. So let's start with one of
yeah.
the group shots. Now we had a good old group turn up to the Brex. This is most of us, I think. Um, and this was at Santon Downham, if I'm correct.
yeah.
Yep, it was. Yep.
Yep. And we were probably, in fact, well, I know what we were watching here. Do you remember what we were watching, guys?
Woodlark.
It looked like woodlark, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I think you'd found a couple of woodlark, hadn't you, Steve? Just hopping around on the ground, and there's we all kind of gathered around and trying to get on those birds was tricky, wasn't it? They were a little bit elusive.
yeah. It wasn't easy, but I think we all got good views in the end.
Hmm. Did, and that's where it's useful because obviously people with scopes and we can all have a turn looking through scopes and you do get a better view. Um, some of the bird pictures that we got from the day. This is one of yours. So do you want to talk us through this one?
So female siskin. This was so we did Santon Downham in the morning, and then we went to Linford Arboretum in the afternoon. So
We
nice, couple
did.
of really good sights. Loads of siskins zipping around. Spring's a great time to go there. So yeah, lots of siskins. Nice woodlark there. One of Matt's shots.
Yeah, there was a lot of heat haze that day as well, wasn't there? It was quite difficult to get the long range
Yeah,
pictures, but
yeah.
got something. This one's a nice one.
Nice buzzard. Yep, yep. That was at Linford in the afternoon.
Lovely common buzzard. And we're looking down the tunnel there, I think, aren't we?
We are looking for. Well, it's one of the best places to see hawfinch. I don't think we saw one there at that time, but luckily we did connect with hawfinch a bit later on.
We did. Yeah, I
Cold,
mean there were a couple of coal tits buzzing around down the tunnel, I think.
yeah,
And then we walked through over to the paddocks. I think you stayed with the main group, didn't you, Paul?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you remember seeing, did you see this little chappie?
I'm not sure whether I did. Um,
It was quite,
I,
it just,
I've seen one. I've seen one at Santon Downham before, but this was at Linford, wasn't it?
this was at Linford. Yeah, I think it just buzzed in really quickly, didn't it, Steve?
yeah. I
Um,
must be. I didn't. I don't think I saw it either.
I think it really was quick. I think maybe there was only just a few of us saw it. So it buzzed onto a tree and hopped up a little bit and then flew off and never to be seen again. And then, as you said, we did get some hawfinch views in the paddocks in the end, didn't we?
Yeah, they were nice. They
Um,
were really good.
they always look to me like they're really, I mean, they are really front heavy, aren't they? If you look at the back end of that bird and then look at the front end, it's almost like a cut and shut job, don't you think?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're a big chunk of a bird with that little tiny tail.
Exactly. Look, it's tiny.
Yeah, yeah, fluffed out
Oh,
rump.
amazing birds. So yeah, it was a really good day. I think there's one more. Oh yes, there you go. We had views of, well, go on, Steve. What's this?
Actually, I was going to say it's a sparrowhawk, but
That's one of your pictures. I think it's a gos.
goshawk.
It looks
Goshawk, isn't it?
gozzy. Yeah. I mean, it's got the dark
Yeah,
cap and the long wings. I think that's one of the
yeah.
gozzies that you had at Linford. I
No, quite good. I think we had about 5 birds at Linford.
Yeah, and there were some at Cockley as well. So yeah, there were good numbers of goshawk up there. And then it wasn't just birds. We had a rather lovely comma butterfly.
Yep, it was
Look at the
nice.
colours on that.
It was such a
Gorgeous.
lovely day weather-wise.
It was. And then this is the final shot. I just like these. And Jackie likes these, doesn't she, Paul?
Yes, she does. Her favourites.
Yeah. They're
They're
really
just
nice.
chilling out.
Lovely, lovely. Right. That was the Breck. So yeah, it was a good day.
It was
I mean, they
excellent.
always are. It's always good fun. And you get a chance to kind of see some different places, maybe if you've not been before.
Yeah.
And obviously going around in a group, you do get more eyes to spot things, don't you? Which is the idea. Um, so there we go. Right. Then on to the lodge, which is down in Bedfordshire, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not sure we've been there before. Well, certainly not as far as I've known in 20 odd years. So
I'd never been there before, to be fair. So I'm quite glad that Jan, because I think Jan Lewis he wasn't at home for this. I think he was coming from somewhere else, and he'd put into his sat nav lodge, and he was going around to Old Lodge in Sussex.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
And I think he kind of luckily either he realised or he spoke to somebody who because it's an easy mistake to make. I'd probably have done exactly the same thing, to be fair. If
yeah.
I'd put lodge into my sat nav, it would have gone there. But this place is gorgeous, isn't it?
Oh,
It
it's
was.
not.
This is for those. This is the RSPB's headquarters. So
Mm.
yeah, lovely building, lovely gardens. Again, lovely weather.
Oh, the weather was ridiculous. Yeah, it was lovely.
Yeah, some really
Um,
lovely mixed habitat as well there.
yeah, there was. I've got a handful of bird pictures from the day. We didn't get loads of birds, but it was a beautiful habitat, as you say, Paul. And we did get a good selection of different birds, didn't we? So we had blue tits. Obviously, they were nice. One of yours, Steve, common white throat.
Yeah, white throat. Yeah.
Yeah, plenty of them calling, weren't there?
Oh, loads of
Nice,
warbler song.
nice show you want to hear. Next picture, I've got a confession to make. This wasn't taken at the lodge. This is one I took elsewhere. But I just wanted to put it in to remind us really, because how many garden warblers did we hear
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
during the
Oh,
day?
they were really good numbers, weren't they?
Yeah,
Almost
and we
double figures.
yeah, it was mad. We got views as well, just not particularly great views, but we did get views. I think most of the group saw garden warbler, but plenty to listen to, and it was really good comparing them to, not just things like white throat, but obviously blackcap, which are the most similar confusion species on song. That was good. Had a couple of these outside the lodge itself, didn't we? Little were they great? Were they grey lag or
Yeah,
Canada?
like
Canada,
Goslings, yeah.
Canada's. I think these weren't these ones, aren't they? Yeah, Canada goose goslings, which are quite sweet. And then back to your butterfly, Steve. This one was quite aptly named, I think, for the area that we were at. The
Yeah,
copper
that was
coloured,
small copper.
yeah, small copper and the copper coloured ground. Quite nice, all the sandiness. And then I can't for the life of me remember what these were, but tell us a story on these because we thought they were just flies, I think, didn't we?
Yeah, so these are green longhorn moths. So these are the males that are like lecking, they're displaying, trying to attract a female or trying to show off to the females. They've got these lovely sort of big metallic like antennae. So we had loads of those. They were really cool.
Yeah, they were really smart. They were a good spot, definitely. I quite like them. And I didn't know that, the insects kind of displayed and leapt like that. I know it sounds daft, but I don't know if you knew that, Paul, or
No, I didn't.
no.
I didn't even know. I'd never even heard of this type of moth, and it was a bit of a revelation actually because they're lovely.
Mm, they're really gorgeous things. And then we got, oh, crikey, is that a cricket? Some kind of, what is it?
Yeah. Common groundhopper.
Oh, common groundhopper. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Crikey, I didn't see that. That's quite chunky, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah, it's a real stocky little beast.
And again, can you imagine if it's on the sort of heathland and on the sandy soils and stuff? That would be really well camouflaged, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. As Paul said, there's lovely mixed habitats there. So
Mm.
yeah, really nice.
And then we did get views. I think some of the group had hobby for the first time.
Yep,
It had a hobby
yep.
buzz over quite high up, didn't it? But just feeding on something there. And then we got views of ravens, didn't we, on nests, which was
Yeah, they're really
amazing.
good.
Yeah. So that you can just sort of see the size of raven, particularly the bill. They always look pretty substantial birds. And then they flew really close past, didn't they?
Oh, that's a lovely shot, that is.
Super. Yeah, absolutely super.
Really close, and the light was just very nice. But I think final ones. I never
Oh,
saw this. So go on, tell the story, guys.
I don't remember that. I took the photograph, obviously, but
This was when we went back to have lunch.
oh, it was
Remember?
by the cafe, wasn't it? Of course.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And we think it was nesting in the tree, don't we? There was a crevice because it kind of hopped up and disappeared. I think you said.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
God,
yeah, really
forgot about
smart.
that.
But again, very cryptic. The plumage on these, you can easily lose them when they're spiraling up a tree.
Mm,
Oh yeah,
And then
they're
finally, we had to get a group shot in front of the lodge. I think that's a
yeah, that's
that's a nice
nice.
EBS shot, that is, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Right. So that was the lodge in Bedfordshire, which was really good fun. And then hopefully somewhere we got some pictures from Dunge. What was the Dunge trip like, Paul?
Yeah, it was a good trip actually. Very well organised by Jerry as usual. Full coach. It was a strange day. It was quite bright, but it was quite breezy down there. And as a result, a lot of the birds were keeping their heads down, so you were having to wait for them to pop up. But we got some good birds down there. I think we had 87 species in all over across the day.
Oh, that's good. That's really good. Well done.
Yeah, so this was a peregrine that was up on one of the pylons near the power station, and he was giving
Lovely.
us good views. And then every so often he'd disappear as he went off to hawk around a bit, and then he would come back.
There you
So
go.
Nice.
Nice
yeah,
flight shot. They're smart birds, peregrine, aren't
they're
they?
lovely, aren't they? Yeah,
They're
absolutely.
Yeah,
really
Yeah,
cool.
he got
so
everyone's attention for quite a while, actually.
yeah, they're just stocky, chunky, and they're a good bird to just stand and watch for a while and just kind of learn how
Yeah.
they fly. Yeah, really good.
Yeah, I mean, we were quite lucky. He gave us the full turn. So when we first saw him, we just saw his back. Then
Mm.
he turned sideways, then he turned frontways for us, and then he gave us a flight as well. So we got the best of him.
Yeah, fabulous, absolutely fabulous. And did you just have the one of these, or were there more than one?
I think there were one or two, but there were certainly not many of them.
Okay,
I mean, bird waders wise, we did quite well. There were a number of grey plover in summer plumage, and they're beautiful. Absolutely, they were cracking.
lovely.
There were one or two golden plover as well out there, but
Okay,
the little ring plover stood out because of that eye ring, and it wasn't too
yeah,
far away from the hide to be able to get good views of it.
that's the thing. I mean, even if you're at distance with a little ring plover, if you can, see any sign of gold around the eye, you know what you're looking at, don't
Yeah,
you? So
yeah,
they're,
absolutely.
they're smart little birds. They really are.
Nice.
Lovely. And I think there's a final picture, which, oh, go on, talk us through that one, Paul.
Yeah, so there were probably somewhere between 5 and 8 hobbies hawking around the various lakes and waterways on the RSPB reserve,
Mhm.
and obviously hawking and feeding on the dragonflies. So I think most of the group got to see a hobby that day, which was
Fantastic.
which was really good. I mean, other birds that were seen were black redstart,
Yep.
um, meadow pipits, stone chats, and we had 8 cattle egret on the
Mm,
RSPB site,
Nice.
green shank, um, and then one solitary yellow wagtail
Okay.
feeding along the margins. Marsh harrier, great white egret, and a knot was seen as well in summer plumage.
And what? Sorry, I didn't
A
catch that.
knot, a knot.
Oh, really? A
Yeah.
knot?
And
Ah,
then some of the group decided to go for a longer walk and went over to the ARC pits
mhm.
because a gargan had been seen there the day before. They weren't lucky enough to locate that, but they had spotted flycatcher,
Nice.
bearded reedlings, and they heard a bittern.
nice.
Didn't get to see him, but they certainly heard him booming. And
Oh,
then, of
lovely.
course, the excitement of the day was when we returned to the coach to
Yeah.
find out that the battery was flat.
No.
Yes, the driver had not. Evidently, he tells us that with these coaches, you don't just turn it off with ignition. There's something else he had to do, and he didn't do it properly. And he'd been sitting there listening to the radio all day, and went to turn the coach back on, and the battery was flat. But fortunately, these coach drivers and coach companies have got good networks. He phoned a local coach company. They came out extremely quickly. I should think they were there within 30 minutes with a power
Wow.
pack, jump started it, because even with 50 of us there, we were not going to be bump starting that coach.
That, that,
On
that
the
would have been
road.
a brilliant picture, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I don't think we would even tried, but it was yeah, and then we had an uneventful journey home, thankfully. But yeah, that sort of that summed the day up when we got back, and Jerry's standing there looking a bit bemused and said, "Oh, actually, it's gone flat on the coach." Oh, no. He had visions of lodges having to send someone out from Chelmsford, but fortunately they got contacts locally, and the
Fantastic. Oh,
local coach
that's
company were only around the corner.
that's
Not the
good.
first time that's happened either.
Is it not? Right,
It happened at Lakenheath quite a few years back. The
right.
guy had the driver had the radio on, chilling
Yeah,
out, went to start the coach. Nothing.
nothing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm. I'll
Oh, it
bring
sounds like a
some.
good day though.
It was an excellent day, yeah. And I think we did a bit of a sea watch, but there wasn't a lot out on the sea. I think we had one cormorant flew through. There were a few great crested grebes, but we got some fairly close views of a couple of northern gannet, which was nice. And then there was also a porpoise spotted by some of the group and a grey seal.
Oh, nice.
It was on the coast there. It was quite blowy, quite blustery.
Yeah.
So the black red starts, I think there were at least 2 pairs of those doing a circuit around the area of the old power station, because it was
Brilliant.
so blowy. They weren't coming up very much. They were staying down in the shade, in the away from the wind, and then popping up every so often. So it was more luck than judgment if you managed to be in the right place at the right time.
Lovely,
The only
lovely.
other bird of note that was, as we arrived, I think bird alerts, someone earlier in the day had either heard or seen a European bee eater, but despite best efforts, that wasn't relocated. But with the wind that was
Okay.
blowing, it'd been probably blown well down the coast.
Yeah. it's a good sight down there, isn't it? They had was it an Eastern Benelli's warbler at the
Right.
weekend, I think?
What did they?
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I mean, that's a good bird. So
Well,
Dungeness, because it's so exposed and quite unique habitat as well,
Big
you
cow.
do get things drop in there, don't you? You really
yeah, it
do.
was the warden came and had a chat with us, and it was amazing because that piece around the lighthouse is a private estate
Mm,
that they open as a nature reserve, but they're not allowed to charge for car parking for some reason, and they have 495,000 cars a year that visit that site, and it just seemed daft because they need the funding.
mm,
They're not allowed to utilize that. Just imagine if everyone just gave a £1 donation.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a donation. Doesn't have to be a parking fee as
No,
such. Yeah. Oh my
absolutely.
goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we've learned then is the next coach trip we come on, we all need to bring some of these with us. Is that what you're saying?
Batteries. I don't think
Excellent.
they would have quite done it, Matt. I mean, I've never seen a coach with its batteries exposed before, but they were on a tray, and I think there was at least three sort of
Wow.
rocket-sized batteries in there. So yeah, it takes a fair bit of power to turn the thing over.
Yeah, I would. Well done, obviously for you guys getting it all sorted. Well done to Lodge for getting it sorted, and to the local company for coming
Yeah,
and helping out. That's
yeah.
all good. We had a couple of talks as well, haven't we? So there was a talk back in, oh, I can't remember. Was it April you did your Goa one, Steve? Or was it March?
Steve
That
did
was
his in
March.
March.
March. So
Yeah.
this, I've only got a couple of slides very quickly. We'll just very briefly touch on these. I mean, basically all of the indoor talks that were arranged this season were fantastic. They're all really good in different ways. Steve, your one is always very well attended, as you can see. And yeah, I mean, it was interesting, brilliant photography, and you always take us on a journey as well. It's not
Yeah.
just showing picture after picture. It's a story with your talks, and quite a lot of information about food as well, which I always like. So yeah.
Very
So thanks
important,
for that.
very important.
Yeah.
Absolutely, thanks for that. Are you going to be going back there again at some point,
Yeah,
or
I'm going next year.
any
Um,
spaces left?
yes, there are.
Oh,
Possibly. I don't know.
oh, okay, all right. Well,
Please check
visit
our website.
swallowbirding.co.uk and have a look. So
Exactly.
yeah, really good. And then this one, I didn't get a picture during the talk itself. I completely forgot because it was so engrossing. Claudia was brilliant, wasn't she, Paul?
She was very good, very engaging. Yeah, I think there was a lot of information in there that I always thought that most corvids were tool users, etc. And then she tells us that actually there's only two that have been proven to be proper tool users out of the 143 corvids across the world.
Hmm.
So some fascinating information that came out of that talk.
And I also think that the fact that rooks, because most corvids are mimics, aren't they? That
Yeah.
they'll mimic other species. But I think she said there's no known record of a rook mimicking another species or anything at all. Car
No.
alarms or anything. So it's almost like a challenge. If anyone's seen or heard of, not seen, if anyone's heard a rook mimicking something, although I guess you would have to see it as well to make sure it was a rook, let us know. That would be interesting. But she doesn't know of anything. So yeah.
And also she put out a plea and said, if anyone ever sees any corvids that appear to be using tools or doing anything that is unusual, she'd love to hear about it because they're learning all the time and they're trying to build up their database of knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. So if anyone's got any corvid information they want to pass across, forward it into us at ebwstalks@gmail.com and we can forward it through to Claudia for you. Right. Big County Birdwatch. It seems like ages ago, but it was only about 6 weeks ago, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, lots happened since then.
It has, yeah, lots happened. But we're going to have a very quick look at some of the facts and figures. So you should be able to see a slide. There's only 4 slides. You'll be thankful to know. This one is basically just explaining that on the portal that we set up, and thanks so much to Andrew for doing all of this behind the scenes. Andrew Duca, our webmaster, he does a fantastic job writing all the software and doing everything on the website. So there were 56 entries covering 32 locations with a total of 142 species seen, which is pretty good.
That's good.
So that's quite smart. And down here it just shows you how many observers saw. So there were 4 people that saw between 70 and 99 species, and there were 2 that saw over 100 and so forth. The top 20 species, and this was in terms of how many of those 32 locations these species were recorded at. So we've got blackcap number one, chiffy, robin, carrion crow, blue tit, and so forth. Um, Quite surprising buzzard because the weather was all right, wasn't it?
Yeah, but the weather was good.
And buzzard in previous years, buzzard's been quite high, but this one's, I mean, it's still in the top 20, but it's a bit lower than it has been previously.
Yeah,
Chetty's warbler in the
yeah,
top 20.
interesting.
That's good. Yeah. And then there's some birds. I mean, for example, things like chaffinch and what else isn't on there? Is goldfinch on? Yeah, goldfinch is on there, but chaffinch not being on there is a bit sad, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, song thrush.
Song thrush, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Starling's only just made it into the top 20.
yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting reading. We're going to do a write up on this for the next issue of Essex Birding with a little bit more detail. Location wise, Rainham Marshes had 109 species. There's a very good reason for that, which you'll find out in about 10 seconds. East Tilbury, Haybridge Gravel Pits. That was Simon led a walk around there, 72. That's good.
Good.
Abberton, 69. Just a quick mention. I think they'd normally get a mention. Sunnymead Farm. So this
Mm,
is Dave and Mo on Sunnymead. 60 species.
good.
It's brilliant. Yeah, really,
Really
really
good.
good.
Yeah.
Beat Fingering Hoe Wick, rightly, and Old Hall. That's amazing. And then, of course, the reason that that Raynham did so well, Ben Rumsby is such a good birder, and he kindly did a walk around there, didn't he?
He did.
Although he only saw 107 species, so somebody recorded an extra two species. That's interesting.
Wow.
I wonder what he missed.
Not a lot by the looks of it.
No, exactly. He got virtually everything, didn't he? And you got Dave Webb on there, Steve Swin. I haven't put me and you in here, Steve, because we kind of did loads of walks, didn't we? But to be fair, Ben still beat us both anyway. So.
Oh, yeah, it wouldn't make a lot of difference.
Exactly. But yeah, no, really good. And I presume, I think it's only got your surname there, Paul, but I presume that's you down there?
I'm guessing it is.
Guess so, yeah. Yeah. So fantastic. So there you go. Just a brief recap on the Big County Birdwatch. Next year's one is taking place in the autumn.
It is. Yep.
Yes.
I can't remember the exact dates at the moment, but it's definitely in the autumn.
Yeah, no, that should be good fun, I think. Right, so we're going to have a quick talk about this month's final field trip. Where are we going, guys?
We're off to Minsmere.
Yeah.
Yay, we are. But this is a trip. So I think you've organised this one, didn't you, Steve?
Did sort of, yes.
Okay, all right.
So
It's got
I think
a bit of a twist, isn't it?
I think the idea is we're going to meet at Minsmere.
Yep.
In the afternoon, 2 o'clock. So a nice late start. But if you want to go early, you're more than welcome. And we're going to meet outside the visitor centre or around the car park or somewhere around there nearby. Have a wander around the reserve for a few hours. There's always lots to see at Minsmere. And then if you want to bring a bit of like packed tea, bit of picnic tea if the weather's good, to have, and then we're going to head up onto the heath. We need to sort of work out where we're going to do, but watch this space.
To be fair, Paul did say he would dress up as a nightjar and fly around for us a little bit if we don't find.
Great. Well, we'll stay in the car park then. That's brilliant.
Yeah. I've been practicing the wing clap.
Brilliant. And obviously, yeah, I think we need to probably whoever's going to come along to this. So this is a self-driver, Steve said. We need to bring torches, don't we? You reckon?
Yeah, it's advisable because it will be dark by the time we come back.
Yes.
There may be a reasonably long walk as well in the dark. So yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. It depends on where we're going to go night jarring. Depends on how many people turn up. We obviously it's a self-drive, so we might have to sort of react on the sort of on the day as it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Depending on car parking and so forth. But we've got so just for people who've not been night jarring before, the main thing you're gonna do is hear them, hopefully. If you're lucky, you'll see them against the night sky if the sky is the right sort of colour and the lighting's correct and so forth. But as they tend to come out after dark, obviously, we're going to have thermals with us, aren't we? And we're going to try and link them to iPads.
Yep.
So hopefully people will be able to watch the blobs flying around on an iPad as we're pointing them towards them. Fingers crossed.
Yep.
That's the plan anyway.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll try that.
So,
yep.
Good.
Cool.
Hopefully. So that's going to be good fun. I'm looking forward to that. And that's on Sunday, the 8th of June, meeting for 2 p.m. start, as Steve said. But obviously, self-drive, you can do what you want. Get there early and tell us what's around when we get there.
Yeah.
And then next season's walks and talks have all been planned, but we're not going to announce them yet, are we? Because I think they're going into the next issue of Essex Birding, which is out in July.
Yep.
So Greg Hope's doing a brilliant job editing that at the moment. The reason we do it is so our members get a chance to have a look at the schedule before it goes onto the website. So if you want to book up anything that needs booking, it gives members first dibs basically. So you should get your Essex Birdings out at some point, roughly early middle of July, fingers crossed. And then we're going to wait at least a couple of weeks before we put the sightings onto the website. Okay. Good. That's one benefit of being a member. We're going to talk about membership in just a second. But is there anything on the chat, Steve?
Have a quick look. Yeah, Mike O'Hanlon and Steve Entwistle, they can't be with us tonight because they're out night jarring in Suffolk. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
And Mark and Charlie are watching, enjoying the show. They've had lesser whitethroat on and off in their garden all week, and a reed warbler.
Oh wow!
Singing for hours on one day. It's a good garden bird.
Blimey, where do you live? Old Hall Marsh.
Rocky, yeah, interesting. Now we live. Reed warbler's a good garden bird.
Yeah.
And then Dave Bissett said about the moths, the longhorn moths. He said, I think they're sometimes called fairy moths. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's another name for them. So thanks for that, David. And then Richard Shue said their Corvid talk by Claudia was very interesting. So the other bloke with his goer talk wasn't bad either.
That's very kind of him.
You say that Steve Entwistle's up night jarring in Suffolk. I've just got visions of him trying to run around and capture one in a box and bring it back to Essex to get it on his Essex list. Oh, bless him. No, I know you wouldn't even think of doing that. Right. Membership. So what do people get if they're members, Steve? And how much does it cost, Paul?
So for £16, you get this hot off the press. New.
Yeah.
Hold on, it's going to go there.
Yeah.
My camera's a bit blurry, but
wow.
Look at that cover. Amazing.
That's got to be one of the best cover pictures that we've had, I think. That's an absolute cracker.
Fantastic.
Yeah, mine's not very good.
And well done to Neil Sumner and his team for producing this quality publication. That is stunning. Look at this. It's full of information. So for your 16 quid, you get this once a year.
You do.
Pictures, and there's artwork in there and stuff.
All the members should have had this by now. If you think you're a member and you haven't had this, it might be because you didn't pay your subs at the end of the year. So have a look at that. Oh, good pictures. I like those ones.
Nice picture. Nice picture.
Yeah. Mm.
And also you get
you do. Hang on.
2 copies. I think
I've even got my fixture card. Woo!
Snap.
Excellent. Yeah. And these are our Essex Birding journals. They come out every 6 months, and this is full of stuff that's been done by either members of the society committee or by members of the society. So you can write articles, you can send in reports, you can write a field trip report of something you did one day, or whatever you want really, and send in your pictures as well. The photographic competition, if you enter that, there's a chance that your pictures can be published in one of these as well, which is always good fun. And what's
also, we've got merchandise.
Oh, we have. Yes. Right, go on.
Notebooks.
And t-shirts in lots of lovely colours.
And shopping bags.
They're going over there somewhere. And yeah, I've got a notebook. And we've also got, we've got square badges.
Screen badge and...
Look at that. Oh, hang on. It's upside down. There you go. Round badges. So square badges and round, which are really cool. So the new round badges are quite new. If you want a round badge, turn up at an event and let us know you're coming, and we'll bring a round badge with us. And you can put a car sticker in your car, and you can wear a cap if you want to. And even we won't need one of these, but there's umbrellas. I'm not putting it up indoors because it's bad luck, but we have branded umbrellas. There you go. Look at that.
Lovely. And sweatshirts and stuff as well. So yeah,
sweatshirts and all sorts of things. So yeah, it's all good fun. And I'll clear up later on. That's fine. Right. So I think that's pretty much that for the first half. We're going to finish off. There's nothing else in the chat, no?
No, I think we're all good. Yeah, we're all good.
Okay. So John Ward, bless him, and thank you so much, John. Last night at about 8 o'clock, I texted John and said, by the way, we've got a show tomorrow night. Have you got a video for us, please? I did put on there, if you haven't, please don't worry. There's no pressure, of course. There really isn't. but 11 o'clock at night, he sent us through a video.
Wow.
I'll try and give him
Hero.
more than 24 hours notice next time. But thank you so much, John. Let me see if I can find it. Hang on, hopefully. Right, it should be in here. Here we go. Right. Can you see a screen with some grasses and stuff on it?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Excellent. I'm going to mute my camera and my microphone, and we're going to enjoy 2 minutes and 23 seconds of mindfulness. See you in a bit, bye, guys.
Cheers. That
Wow.
was brilliant as ever.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
I can't believe, I don't know how he does that. He's got a Chetty's warbler singing,
Nightingale.
nightingale singing, that slow motion swallow. I mean, just trying to take a picture of a swallow bad enough. Trying to keep it in frame for that long is crazy. It's really, really impressive.
And that stone chap, the way it came in.
I know.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just fixed its wing and the close up.
He got that
I love
stone
the way
chap very well trained, didn't he?
Definitely. I love the way he started off with a bit of frostiness as well, because it's almost going back to our last show in February.
Yeah.
Yeah, right the way through. Great stuff, John. Thank you so much. Right, okay. I think we're ready to go into a break, unless there's anything pending on the comments.
Pete Dwyer said, "Does John work on Springwatch?" Well, he's too good for Springwatch, I tell you.
Well, yeah, I think you should do. He's very good.
And then Richard Chew said, "That was amazing, John. Some cracking birds there." And then quickly, Mark and Charlie, they live on the Dengie.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. But still, the reed warbler was still unexpected. So,
Oh, definitely.
Cool. Yeah, thanks for that, guys.
That's a good area to live. Yeah, very good. Nice. Right. We're going to go into a break. Thank you so much, Paul, for joining us.
Pleasure. Thanks very much for inviting me. It's been
no problem at all.
Paul.
And hopefully, if you can see a video, hold on. I'm sorry, Steve. I couldn't resist.
Oh, what's it going to be?
You know what it's going to be.
Not that wins.
You know what it's going to be. Are you ready?
Yeah.
We'll see you in 3 minutes, guys. All right. See you soon.
Cheers then, guys. Thank you.
See you later. Go out the room. Out the room.
You
That
know what?
noise just
That
does my
actually
brain in. I've got a headache now.
makes me laugh so much each time because I didn't do it intentionally, but there's a couple of little bits in the music where there's a pause and then the lapwing goes and it just sounds so funny.
You know what? When you hear it from a long way away, it sounds like one of those squeaky toys.
I love that a long way away. I've got a vision of you just running down to the end of the garden for 90 seconds and running back.
Literally, I was about 30 feet away because that's all I can
Brilliant.
stand. And I thought, well, I
Fantastic.
can't switch the music off because I won't know when it's coming back again. So that was good to
Oh,
see. Good to see Paul tonight. Really good.
definitely. Yeah, no, thanks, Paul, again for coming on. And hopefully a few people can now put a face to a name, which is always good. Right. We are going to crack on because we're kind of not doing too bad.
We're all right, but we need to keep them in. We need to keep it rolling.
We do. We need to keep rolling. So, photo competition. The results are in, but before we do it, we always give some honourable mentions. So there's just a couple in here, about 53. Hold on.
53 honourable mentions.
Actually, you know what I haven't done? I haven't been through my pictures. So I've still got 44 pictures in my phone. So I'll have to probably skip a few. I'll do one, two, skip a few. Yeah, it'll be quick. I promise.
Yeah, let me tell you.
Right, so
Oh man.
this is just honourable mention. So these are some of the photos. They might have made it through to the vote. They might not have done, but it's just ones that, that basically I picked out earlier on. Just I thought were worth looking at. This, I'll be honest, this was actually my favourite of the whole lot. I really like this. I just think the colours, the way it's on the. Well, I don't know what that is actually. What is the plant? It's like a bulrush or something.
Reed Mace.
Oh, reed mace. Okay, thanks, Steve. So yeah, really good. Really like that picture by Sean Mulqueen. So thank you for sending that in. Oops. Next one was this one, and I think a lot of us liked this actually, didn't we?
Yeah, it's a nice picture. That was
Yep, Sean
lovely
Mins,
background.
Cormorant. Looks like it's taken from the Causeway at Lower Breton, but obviously taken early morning, I would guess.
Yeah, because the sun. Yeah, early morning. Yep.
Yeah, so you got the backlit bird. Really, really nice. Love that, and the bird's obviously posing perfectly. So well done, Sean. That's a really good shot. Love that. This one didn't make to the vote, but I like this. It's cute. A little
Really
red.
nice.
Pat Ainger, so thanks for sending this in, Pat. And I think wren that typifies a wren really. They just got a lot of attitude for such a small bird, haven't they? They're
Yep.
gorgeous,
Feisty, mate. Feisty.
feisty wren. And then this one really just because Doctoral, we're going to cover it very briefly in the sightings later. We had some Doctoral in the county, as many of you probably know. And this is one of the nicer pictures I've seen of a couple of Doctoral. You got as I now know, a female at the front with the real bright colouring. The one behind, not sure, possibly a male. Looks a little bit
Yep.
less brightly coloured, but a really nice shot there by Jan because they weren't particularly close. So yeah, well done, Jan. Thank you. And this one, I like this. It's fun.
Yeah, it's nice. Lovely light.
Yeah, lovely light, real bunched group as they do of black-tailed godwits, sent in by Mike Davis, and bumped into him actually the other day having a quick chat, and yeah, I said to him how much I like this shot. It's really nice, thank you. And then this one, just because, although to be fair, it's been overshadowed now by John's video to be somewhat, but it's still really good because getting a picture of a Chetty's warbler is really difficult.
Yeah, exactly.
So well done, Jill, for getting a shot of a Chetty's warbler, and that's how you normally see them, very briefly and skulking and in the shadows. So
Good
yeah, great.
shot. Like that.
Yeah, really, I like that. It's nice and sharp. And then this one, just briefly, this again is another Sean Mins picture. It just made me laugh when it came in. It's just got this little Egyptian goose gosling staring through his or her mum's or dad's tail. So yeah,
Now,
very
that's again, it's just a bit different. I like the different ones.
different. I like different stuff. You can have some lovely portrait shots of birds, but something a bit different. I always like. It's a bit quirky, isn't it?
Yep.
Like that.
Yep. No, that's really nice. Well done, Sean.
And the final one, sent in by Bluebell Jones. Beautiful shot, lovely blurry background. Didn't have the full birding because you don't need to have the full birding.
No.
And it's a crow. It's a carrion crow, but
Yeah.
a lovely picture of carrion crow. You can see all the plumage details. You can see they're not just black. There's some greens and blues and purples and stuff
Yeah.
going on there. A bit of iridescence in the feather and a beautiful sharp shot. So yeah, really like that one
Lovely.
so much. Right. Do you want to know who won?
I'd love to know who won.
Excellent. Let's see who won. Hang on, I'm just clearing some stuff from my screen. Right, here we go. So, finalists. Now we're going to do this. Uh-oh, hang on a minute. Wrong folder. Results, that's the one I want. We're going to do this in reverse order. I'm not going to show the voting screen, although I will make the votes visible to anyone that does want to go on and have a look afterwards. But in fourth place, we have, there we go,
Nice.
the swans.
Nice. Lovely shot, that is.
Swan, Hooper Swan. Lighting's fantastic. You couldn't really pose their wings much better, could you? The one on the top's got his wings up, the one on the bottom got the wings down. Lovely. Really like that. Nice and straight, beautifully lit, not overexposed, which is so easy to overexpose a white bird.
Both birds are sharp as well. Nice use of aperture there to
absolutely blurry background, razor sharp, but yeah, really love that. Lots of feather detail going on as well. So beautiful. Nice shot there by Andy. Thank you very much indeed for sending that in. I think a lot of us like that one. In third place, we've got the Firecrest by Mike O'Hanlon. Very nice.
Shot, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, these are difficult birds to photograph. Again, like Chetty's warbler. They never stop moving, do they, Firecrest? No. So he's got one here, beautifully exposed again, nice black background, and it's singing or calling. And you can see his little tongue. So I love that. It's really good.
That's nice.
So it leaves us with the Mediterranean black-headed gull thing and the pair of pintail. Which one do you think has won?
I know which one I voted for. So
okay. Well, let's reveal. Here we go. In second place, we've got Mediterranean gull, black-headed gull, a gull diving into the water by Edwin Cummings. Thank you so much for this shot, Edwin.
It's a cracker. It is a cracker.
It's a great shot. I mean, look at the timing of that.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see what happened next, because it's going in vertical, isn't it?
Really? It is. Yeah.
That's mad. Yeah. So yeah, lovely shot. And it's not as if it's splashing up and down, because the water's pretty calm, isn't it? It's not been in there.
Absolutely. That's just beautiful. Again, it's just pin sharp.
Yep. Really good capture, which means, of course, the first place goes also to Edwin Cummings. So first and second, congratulations.
Wow.
And this lovely shot of a pair of pintail, the drake on the left and the female on the right. And just, yeah, I mean, I think the colours work on this, don't they? Because you've got the background colour complements the colour of the birds, but you just got that bit of blue in the foreground and it's all lovely and blurry. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my favourite. That was really cool.
Yeah, it's a really lovely shot. And again, I think a lot of the judges had this in their top 10.
Well on Edwin. That's really cool.
Very good. So we'll be in touch. We're going to send you a framed copy of that and a certificate. And just to let people know, the summer competition is kind of officially launched now, because the next day after the spring finishes is the start of the summer. Haven't launched it online yet. It will be done in the next week or so. So get snapping, but always keep your distance and please be aware of the sensitive stuff, as we said earlier on. Right, good. What's next? Where we been? What we seen? Do you want to go?
You better go first, because you've got
no. If you go, and I'm going to pretend I'm listening, and I'm going to try and thin mine down a bit.
Okay, cool. Well, I've only got 24, so.
Oh, okay. Right, I've got some cutting out to do.
Yeah, so
hang on. I'm going to do half and half. Oh, that looks weird. You've gone really big all of a sudden on my screen. Ooh, that's very strange.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Right.
Am I all right to go?
Oh, you're fine. Yeah, no, I've moved you, so you're now half of my screen, and the other half I'm going to have my photos on. So
right, okay,
yeah,
right.
I'm
So
going to
let me share the screen. So yeah, busy. Been a busy couple of months for me. This is my busy time of year. So hopefully you can see that. Can you see that, Matt?
Hang on, I've got something coming up. It says double click to. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow, that's a funny blue tip.
I think the funny blue tip with a little crest on it.
So like that. Very nice.
So this was a tour I did to Speyside back in April. Seems such a long time ago now. But yeah, lovely views of crested tip. And then what else have I got on? And then absolutely stonking views of osprey. They're really well up in Scotland at the moment. So everywhere at the moment. So, and this is a ringed bird, but yeah, really nice views of osprey, and singing snow bunting up on Cairngorm.
Oh, lovely.
I don't often see them in summer plumage, so that was really nice. I'm trying to think what else I've got. Oh, there's Scotland. So this is now Holland.
Oh,
been to Holland. This is a pygmy cormorant, so it's quite a rare bird.
Yeah.
In this part of Europe. So we went and saw this. This was very close to our hotel. Not the easiest bird to find, but we did find it eventually on our last day. So
Well
nice
done.
views of Pickley Cormorant and lots of these.
I've never seen one of them.
Oh,
Oh,
little blue throats. Yeah.
oh wow.
It's amazing because it's only just across like the water, to Holland. It's not far away. And these things are quite common.
Yeah. Well,
They
they don't
sit
really
up
come
and
over it, do they?
sing.
not really.
Oh, no, they're still rare over this part of the,
Mm.
East Anglia, considering how close we are.
Yep.
So, yeah, lots of blue throats, which is everyone's favourite bird everyone wants to see. Just red squirrel.
Nice. Look at the ears on
Nice.
him. Oh, he's lovely.
Yeah, again, it's just in the woods in Holland, quite common mammal. And Savvy's warblers,
Oh,
really
wow.
common and really showy as well. Again, so different to as they are here. So,
Oh, fantastic. Love that.
so that's Holland. White-tailed eagles, another one as well. Loads of
Oh,
white-tailed eagles. They're just common as muck in Holland.
I need to go to Holland, really, don't I? I need to get off my you-know-what and get on a flight or a ferry or something and just
Yeah,
go
you
over
can go by
to
boat. We can go to
Yeah,
Harwich and then
yeah.
get across. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's Holland. Then back to the UK. This is a dawn chorus walk that I led for the Essex Wildlife Trust at Fingringhoe.
Mhm.
I do it every year, and everyone that came on the walk we had amazing views of nightingale. And literally, we just everyone phone scoped it. It was so close. It wasn't stopped singing. And as we said earlier, turtle doves.
Excellent. Well done.
Yeah. So this was one of the turtle doves that are currently at Fingringhoe. So,
Beautiful.
and then I went to the south of France, the Camargue.
Woo.
So black crowned night heron, quite a common bird down there. So it's very much wetland birds. So
That's a
black
really
crowned night
lovely
heron.
capture. That's really sharp. I like that.
Yeah, and the light was amazing. Beautiful weather. So nice, bright red eye.
Yeah.
Stone curlew.
Yep.
This is a garden bird, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah, next to our hotel. These are just easy to see.
Wow.
Which is nice. Swallowtail.
Cool.
Different subspecies to our ones we get here, but nice views of swallowtail.
Yep.
Flamingos.
Hey.
Lots of flamingos, which were good. And this is another bird right next to the hotel, little bustard.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
Sorry. Tetrax.
That's better.
Yeah, exactly. So this is another nice male little bustard.
Lovely.
Right next to the hotel. And then, purple heron.
Oh, stunning shot that is. Look at the colours on that.
Again, lovely. The wetland birds are just really showy, which is nice. Yep. And then this is from last week. Where have I been last week? Estonia.
Oh, hang on, sorry.
That's okay. You can cough.
I'm done. Sorry, I muted myself. I thought I had. Sorry.
These are just some of the 1,200 black-throated divers we had fly past at one point.
My goodness.
And just streams of black-throated divers. So I did 2 tours back to back in Estonia. The first tour we had just black-throated divers, like 10 a penny. I think we had 1,200 in the morning. Which was just phenomenal. And then we had these bears.
Hang on a minute. Are you sure that's not you and someone else dressed up in bear costumes?
Oh, which it was.
They're amazing. Look at that.
We were talking to some Estonian nature people, and they've lived there. One guy was 60 years old, lived in Estonia all his life, never seen a bear.
No.
And you know what, Matt? We saw these, and then they wandered off. We drove down the road, and we found another one.
Good grief.
No.
Oh, well done.
It's a bit late. It's a bit of a grainy shot because it's quite late night. But, amazing views of brown bear.
I love that.
So that was cool. Montagu's Harrier.
Oh, very nice. Yep.
Again, these are really common.
Okay.
A couple of redneck phalaropes.
I was just thinking that swan's got some really funny signets going on there.
Yeah, these birds photobombed the mute one. So a couple of redneck phalaropes.
Very nice.
And then this was from last week's trip or this week's trip.
Mm-hmm.
So citrine wagtail.
Mm-hmm.
There's quite a few pairs there. They breed. This one was taking food into the nest.
Lovely.
So citrine wag, common rosefinch.
Okay. Wow.
So this is a bird that Society President Simon Wood was with us, and him and I got amazing views of this common rosefinch.
That's stunning. Was it singing? Or, did it sing at all? Or?
This particular bird wasn't, but it was just feeding on dandelions in
Good
someone's
grief.
garden.
That's amazing.
So that was really nice. And then
Oh,
this is just on a park pond.
slav me up.
Yeah, 3 pairs of these nesting on a park pond.
Gorgeous. You can see what
So
they're called,
that
horn greaves there, can't you?
absolutely, yeah. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
almost at
definitely.
the end, a couple of marsh sandpipers.
Very nice. Never seen
Um,
marsh viper. Wow.
and then I think that's the
Oh,
last one, a red-breasted flycatcher with a red breast.
very nice.
And
Oh,
that's it. And that's it from me. I only got back from Estonia yesterday, so
amazing. Right. Well, I've narrowed my 44 photos down, and I'm only going to show the ones that are better than yours. So there you go.
41 then.
No, none. That's it. I haven't got any to show anyone. I've literally got nothing to compete with that. That's amazing. Right. Okay. I'm going to show.
We've got 15 minutes before the show ends, so
Right. Okay. Right. Really quickly. Here we go. Can you see a purple sandpiper?
it's nice. Yeah, lovely.
Okay.
That's
So
cool.
this is literally just some shots since the last show that I quite liked. So purple sandpiper at Holland Haven, flapping its wings. Grey wagtail at Ardley Reservoir. Got some really lovely close views of that back in March. I like this one because it's just a male and female teal, but
Yeah,
synchronized dabbling. It was real fun on the Stour.
love it. Love it.
We got a very happy looking female mallard. Just made me laugh.
As well. It's cool. That's cool. Uh,
This gull was at Ardley last year, and it's doing the same thing this year. It's got freshwater mussels,
okay.
and it picks one up, and it flies up in the air, and then it goes over a particular area of land and just drops it. And it does it over and over again until it breaks, and then it eats it. So there you go.
Wow.
They're clever, aren't they?
It's a clever thing, isn't it?
Nice close shots of little ring plover back in April, I think this was at Abberton.
That's lovely.
Put that,
Oh,
I'll put that one in for you.
thank you. Appreciate it.
Tina and I had a walk on East Mersey, and there was 4 or 5 meg gulls just flying around, which is quite nice. And this one particularly smart. And then there's a few shots of this. This is just a 3-way coot fight that I captured a few pictures of at Ardley, but a couple of them just look pretty. I know you probably shouldn't laugh because they're having a good old scrap, but it's just action shots. So that's the first one. Look at that one.
Foot in the face.
Yeah, it's like, ah,
And
ah.
those feet are really sharp.
Oh God. Oh, maybe they're not funny now. Okay. Yes, that's a proper kung fu. That one is trying to get his own back, I think. And I presume you've got a female here just watching.
Yeah, two blokes having a scrap on a
Yeah.
Friday night. Take that, mate.
Look at that. Unbelievable.
That's brilliant.
Oh, this is a great. I was really pleased with how they came out because the whole thing's over in like a split second, you know. Also, Ardley just got a night just to show again. You don't have to have a full picture of a bird to make it fun. So nice close shot of a male mallard, but with some nice light on it, which was I quite like that. Then this was black tern at Abberton. There's been a few black terns at Abberton, as we'll find out in a bit. Managed to pick up an Arctic tern all on my own at Abberton, which I was quite pleased with. So got a shot of it as well. Really nice. And then I also went to St. Osoph for the Dotterels because I've never seen Dotterel before. So that's my first lifer of the year, which I was very pleased with.
Nice shot.
And then this was at Rainham Marshes. Went down to Rainham with Tina. We went down to try and see the blue winged teal that Ben had found. But unfortunately, the day that we went is the day that it disappeared. But I got a picture of this little grebe with a slightly surprised looking stickleback.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, he's like, But I did after work on the bank holiday Monday, decide to travel
that's beauty.
to go from Ipswich up to Grafton Water for this little fella. And I was quite lucky because normally I turn up on the day after a bird disappears. This one I actually got there on the day it disappeared. So, I mean, you would not believe how if you just sit there and it just came towards you. And as long as you don't move and don't do anything silly, it gets within just maybe 15, 20 feet. Unbelievable. Lovely
It's
bird.
absolutely brilliant picture.
Yeah, spotted sandpiper for anyone who didn't know. And then a couple of days afterwards, we went up to Carlton Marshes, and got some cracking views of the red-footed falcons that have been up there. This is a second year male,
Yep.
and this is a female. Again, I think she's, don't know what year she is. There's a little bit of sort of lighter coloured plumage in here, so I don't think it's a full adult female. But
No, I might be a second year as well.
yeah, lovely colours, beautiful, beautiful birds, and just got some underwing shots. What I thought with them, because I've only seen them once before, and there's been some locally as well, which again we'll find out in a sec. But they seem like, to me, it's a cross between a hobby and a kestrel, really, in
Yeah,
terms of the way they
yeah,
fly.
yeah,
Um,
agree.
yeah, they're not quite as slim-winged as a hobby, are they? But they're not quite the same as a kestrel either. Yeah, they're lovely.
Some
And
shot.
then just in the garden, really, there was some. We got descended on by a whole bunch of starlings, young starlings, and just got an action shot on the top of my bird feeder thing of this adult starling feeding three very hungry-looking young ones.
Yeah, really, that's a really cool shot. I love
That
that.
made me laugh. Yeah, I like that. And then four of them just decided to line up on the tree at the at the end of the garden. And
And the colours.
I was just waiting for, I thought, go on, please all look the same way, something. And I think a magpie called or something. And they all turned around to look. I thought, there you go, gotta take that.
It's beautiful. I love the colours and the pose.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm quite pleased though. And I don't know if anyone's seen this before, but the Great Crested Grebes locally have had a couple of chicks, which is fantastic, a couple of little humbugs. But both of the parents were feeding both of the young feathers at one point.
Yeah.
Now, I can't remember if I might have seen this before, but I just wondered, does anyone know, is this a known thing? Do they do it for digestion? Is it young parents that are making a mistake and not sure what to give the babies? Um, any ideas? Let us know in the comments if you can.
Lovely
And then got
photograph.
coming into last week now, so got an osprey flyover. John and I went to Blue House Farm for the morning, and then stopped at Abberton in the afternoon, and managed to pick up an osprey, flying sort of towards us from distance, and it actually kept on flying towards us and went right over our heads in the end, which was quite nice.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And then the video that John
Oh,
took, I just managed a couple of stills, which I was pleased with until I saw John's video just now. So,
that's cracking.
barn swallows just going across the field. They're lovely, and obviously you have to have a really high shot. I think I was on either on 1/3200ths of a second or 1/4000th. I can't remember.
Wow, you got to, yeah, got to be high in it. Oh,
Yeah,
that's superb.
they don't half move. They're lovely.
Oh, that's cracking.
And then finally, just a few days ago, the spoonbills at Abberton, one of them particularly was doing a bit of home building. Then he came back and flew very close, and then he kept on flying and got so close I couldn't get him in the whole frame.
Wow. Right,
So
that was
again,
close.
I was quite pleased with that shot. It just shows you don't have to have the full bird in to get a shot that
No?
you can be pleased with. So yeah.
Oh, nice one.
And then got a lesser white throat locally with some grubs for young. So obviously a nest very nearby,
Oh, that's good.
and a barn owl.
Oh,
Um,
lovely.
just in the evening hunting away. And then we went to Tollsbury. The final two photos you'll be pleased to hear. Went to Tollsbury Marina, and we were walking along there, and there's so many house martins, and it's just like it's the first time, probably for a couple of years, I've actually seen house martins going to and from nests, because there weren't any locally to me last year. I remember the numbers weren't good last year at all, I don't think. So
I think it was pretty poor, wasn't it?
yeah, I mean it's nice. There was plenty of nests on the house in the eaves of the houses down there, um, and there was also this, which is my last photo.
Oh, wow.
So it looks like an old house martin nest that's kind of partially decaying and stuff. And somebody, I presume the homeowner, has put a box up there, like a gaffer tape silicon sealant
It's
box.
like a cardboard box.
Yeah, to make it into, I mean, I presume to sort of help rebuild the nest. But these two swifts were backwards and forwards to this, and they didn't go into it. I don't know if it's quite the right shape I don't know. I mean, it looks quite deep, but
Okay.
then a swift box is deep, isn't it? I suppose. Um, so whether the swifts are actually going to think about using it or not, I don't know. But it was just quite interesting, and yeah, they were getting quite excited by that, as you can see. So there you go. Right, me done.
Wow.
Good. Okay.
So if we look and see if we've got any comments. Yeah, Rob's watching the show. He said it was nice to see Jerry at the local school with the Swift boxes.
Brilliant. Good stuff.
And then Richard Chew said, "Wonderful shot of the spotted sandpiper."
Yeah, I
And he
pleased
loved,
that one. Yeah, come out all right.
it's a cracking shot, and he loves the coot fight too. And then also, again with the feather, he said it's a known thing. It's a known thing with feather feeding,
Mm.
but he can't remember the reason. I think it's got. No, I can't remember either.
I wonder if it's because they're young. It's maybe to aid their digestion. I don't know. That's the only thing I
I've
can
got a
think of.
funny feeling it is, because I think again, if they're eating fish that have got
Scales and stuff. It might.
scales and stuff, I think
Yeah.
it's something to do with that.
Yeah. Okay.
And then Colin Undrill said he's got at least 4 pairs of house martins on his house at the moment.
Oh, brilliant. Well done, Colin.
So that's really cool.
Fab. That's really good. Right. Oh, go on.
Oh, there you
Anything
go. So Richard Chew's just Googled it. It's to line the chicks' stomachs and act as a barrier to sharp fish bones, which may damage it. So there you go.
Brilliant. We knew that, Richard. We just discussed that, mate. You're behind the times. Sorry.
Mate, we don't need Google. We
No,
are Google.
Thanks for confirming that, Richard. Yeah, good. Right. So we're going to share some viewers' pictures now. So thanks to everyone who sent in pictures. Let me see if I can get this right. It's probably going to go wrong straight away. Hold on. So the first one is Graham Me. He sent in, and I think these are going to be in the wrong order. I do apologise. But he sent in a bittern from Minsmere. That's rather nice picture, isn't it? Yeah, like that. We've got a large red damselfly in his garden.
Oh, that's lovely as well.
Really nice. And then we've got a mallard having a bath or flapping around a bit in the water, and that was at Paper Mill Lock.
It's lovely. I like that.
So they're all good. Thanks, Graham. I like that one as well, actually. Then we got from Jan Lewis, something else from Jan in a second about spoonbill. Don't let me forget. So Jan sent in swans at Mistley, mute swans at Mistley. They're having a bit of a 2 and 8 by the looks of it, these two anyway. Quite interesting. And black terns at Hanningfield. So I don't know if that was recent. There have been some down there a little while ago, wasn't there?
Might feature in the South Roundup in a minute.
Excellent. And then we got from Mike O'Hanlon. He sent in a shot of a pied fly, not a pied, sorry, it says it on the, I think he's typoed. It's a spotted flycatcher at the Naze, which is nice. So thanks for that.
That was today, that was, wasn't it?
It may well have been. There's been some down there, haven't there? Glossy ibis at Lee Valley. That's a smart bird, that is. That really is.
Okay. Yeah.
Absolute gorgeous bird. And we got, oh, that's nice. That's a kind of a pretty much breeding plumage sanderling at the Naze.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yep, like that. And then again, a breeding plumage cattle at Abberton Reservoir. That's all good. Thank you, Mike, for those. And then talking of Richard Chew, we've got some pictures from Richard. Richard's always good at sending in pictures, so thank you. We've got a very nice jay, and this was at his local patch in Basildon.
Nice.
Light on that one's lovely, isn't it? We've got a black cap. Again, lovely blue sky. Black cap having a nice male there.
That's lovely against the blossom.
Chiff chaff. Oh, that's really nice. I like that. Lovely chiffy. Those are all local to Richard down in Basildon Way. Then at Canvey Week, he had common whitethroat. Again, these are all beautifully framed. I love these pictures. They're nice. Nice male yellowhammer on Westleton Heath in Suffolk. And in the same location. Oh, no, we haven't. That's gone wrong. It's meant to be a Dartford warbler next. Sorry, I don't know where that's gone.
Well,
Dartford warbler might turn up in a minute, unless that's a very big Dartford warbler. Even I know that's not a Dartford warbler. So that's a bittern at Strumpshaw Fen. Okay, that's a black grouse, and that's World's End in North Wales. Very nice. We've got a red grouse at the same location. Very, very nice. Look at that. It's lovely.
Oh, that's beauty.
Oh, and a rather attractive male winchat there.
That's a beauty.
Also at World's End. Then we've got a pied flycatcher, male pied flycatcher, and this is taken at RSPB Innis here in Mid Wales. Innis here.
Yep, no, spot on.
Yeah, I'm going to carry on. Then we've got a red kite, and this was taken at, oh God, blimey, hang on a minute, Bulk Nant Arian at Mid Wales.
It's just outside Aberystwyth, that is. Just say near Aberystwyth, that's fine.
Mid Wales it was taken, Mid Wales.
Good Welsh impression, though, good Welsh.
Thanks very much, yeah, great. Also in Mid Wales at Gilfach.
That's how they pronounce it as well. Well
Thank you.
done.
We've got wood warbler,
That's a cracker.
another bird I haven't seen. I need to get out and about more really, but I just like Essex so much, and a very smart common redstart. So I'm not sure where the dark warbler went, Richard. Apologies on that. I thought I downloaded everything, but maybe he disappeared. But I'm sure he was lovely. And that is everything from viewers, unless they've sent something in while we have been talking. So while you do the first part of the roundup,
Okay.
actually, no, it's not everything from viewers, is it? Spoonbill.
You do spoonbill. I'll do
Yeah,
blacktail
let me get
godwit.
Spoonbill quickly. If you get your roundup ready, hold on. Where is Spoonbill? Here we go. Right, got to load up the screen. I don't know if this is going to work properly. I can try it. Hold on. I'm trying to share a PDF. Can you? Oh my God, I've got so many windows open on my screen. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So very briefly, this information has been sent back by Sven Prins from the work group in Lepelar. And
Lepelaar is Dutch for spoonbill.
ah, oops, didn't know that. Spoonbill work, Spoonbill group. I don't
It's the
know.
spoonbill group.
Yeah,
Correct.
Spoonbill group. Excellent. Thanks, Steve. Well done.
Pleasure.
And this is Spoonbill that was seen on Neil Bauer's. Sorry, Neil Sumner. Oh my goodness, we were going really well, weren't we? Neil Sumner's BCBW walk at Bowers Marsh on the 13th of April. It was ringed on the 25th of May 24 in the Netherlands and stayed local until the 23rd of October, and then a 400-kilometer trip to Brownsea Island on the 25th of the 10th, down here, right down the bottom there.
Yeah.
That's mad. So 2 days later, it'd gone 421 kilometers, I think that says, yeah. And doesn't like it and goes back by the 28th. Hang on, there you go, up the top there. After a rethink, back in Hampshire by the 8th of November. Then stays in the county until at least the 6th of April, then seen in Kent on the 12th of April, before Essex the next day. That's mad, isn't it?
Weird, isn't it? It's quite faithful to the south coast of Britain and then goes bizarrely east.
Yeah.
Okay.
The distance they cover, in the space of a day or two, they've moved hundreds of kilometers. So that's really interesting. Thanks for sharing that, Jan, and thanks also to Sven for coming back to us so quickly on that one. Well done for submitting the ring.
And while you're there, then quickly, then Matt.
Oh yes.
This was a blacktail godwit that Dave Dutton read the ring of when we were at Fingering Big County Birdwatch.
Okay.
So this is its sort of life history. So it's an adult female, was ringed in 2023, so quite a relatively new bird.
Yep.
Then spent most of the early spring on the Orwell. So probably bred by Ed Keeble or Mark or Nowers and then back up to Lincolnshire, down to Heybridge, and then Fingering.
Mad, isn't it? It's interesting to see where these birds go and when, and as you just said, a lot of them are so faithful all the time, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah,
right.
Thanks, Dave, for sharing that.
Okay, I'm going to cough again. So do you want to do this
You cough, I'll do my roundup because we're almost
go for it.
We're going to be 2 hours, aren't we? We're
get in there, right? Okay.
I've got to take my glasses off because the light's terrible in here, and I've got a stinking headache at the moment. So
okay, we're nearly there, Steve.
So South Essex, this is for May only. So as we saw earlier from Jan's pictures, we've got Hanningfield had up to 10 black terns during the month, plus little tern. It's a good bird for Hanningfield, and little gull. West Canby has had a gargany during the month, and then probably one of the best sites in South Essex has been Blue House Farm. They certainly had ruddy shell duck, 3 temming stints this month, plus a little stint. It's had gargany, had grey-headed wagtail, which is a pretty rare bird for the county. Glossy ibis was there for a day, and then wood sandpiper. So yeah, really good selection of birds there. Great Wakering had a golden oriole briefly earlier in the month. Wallasey's been relatively quiet, but had curlew sandpiper, which again is quite a good spring bird. Southend, on the 3rd, someone had Northland bunting in their garden.
Okay.
The news didn't come out until about a week later, but
that's a really good bird, yeah.
Down at East Tilbury, it's had a little stint. Paul Wood had a quail yesterday, singing. and
Nice.
ruddy shelduck down there, which is good. And then Bowers Marsh has had a blackwing stilt on the 14th, Temmink stint, couple of spoonbills, and a very late white-fronted goose. And then, as we saw from Mike's picture earlier, Waltham Abbey, so Lee Valley, glossy ibis from the 23rd to the 26th. And then yesterday in Billericay, there was a quail, which was ID'd from a sound recording over
Oh,
someone, presumably either from someone's garden or over someone's garden.
brilliant.
It was a good sighting, and that's it for me.
Excellent. Well done.
Nice
Good.
and easy.
Before I do mine very quickly, we've got a couple of emails in. So John Peacock has said, hi, Matt and Steve. Have either of you ever seen a wren anting? I witnessed one 30 feet from my back door doing this. I've only witnessed this in corvids and green woodpeckers.
Two.
I haven't.
I've never seen a wren. And blackbirds do it as well, but
Okay. And also someone's interested in the scope, so I'll deal with that afterwards. But thank you very much indeed. I have seen that. And there was an article in issue 145 of Essex Birding about the blackbird issues with BTO contact details. So yeah, we did put that out in the magazine before, but I think it's still an ongoing thing. So anyone who wants to take part in that blackbird survey, you can still do it. Right. Sightings from the northern part of the county. Beginning of the month, on the 1st, we had 9 black terns at Abberton Reservoir, 2 little stints at Old Hall Marsh, and 4 doctorals still lingering at St Osyth. There had been 9 previously, and the birds stayed on and off until around about the middle of the month, about the 14th. On the 5th, there was a Dartford warbler at Colne Point. On the 6th, curlew sandpiper and little stint at the Naze. Also on the 6th, 4 wood sandpipers at Old Hall. Then a day later, on the 7th, there was a black tern again at Abberton, and that rose to 3 black terns on the 10th. Also on the 7th, red-footed falcon turned up at Abberton Reservoir, and that rose again to 2 on the 14th, and we think there might have been as many as 4 on the 15th were reported. So that's really good. There's been a lot of red-footed falcons, haven't there, this year?
Yeah, it's been a good influx. Yeah,
definitely. It'd be interesting to see if any of them sort of stick around and breed anywhere. It could be quite good fun. But yeah. On the 12th, little gull at the Naze. On the 13th, 2 garganys at Abberton turned up, 2 drakes. Also on the 13th at the Naze, wood sandpiper. A day later at Holland Haven, there were 2 spoonbills, which is a good bird for there. Same day at the Naze, 3 curlew sandpipers and a wood sandpiper. And 3 days later on the 17th, there were 2 curlew sandpipers on Old Hall, and that rose by 1 to 3 the day after. Also on the 18th, a Montague's Harrier was reported in fields near Abberton, and there were some record shots of that posted out and about there, so that's a good bird. Same day on the 18th, 2 Temmink stints at Old Hall Marsh. 2 days later on the 20th at Horsey Island, there was a short-eared owl. And finally on the 21st, black redstart and little gull, both at Abberton Reservoir. So there's been some stuff around, hasn't there?
been a good month. May is traditionally a good month anyway. So, nice selection of stuff throughout the county.
Definitely. Right. Okay. So yes. What was I going to do next? There was one little thing left, I think. Hang on. Bear with me. Very quickly.
It was Dave Bissett's garden. He said the quail was over his garden at 22:42 yesterday. Oh, that's cool.
Goodness. Wow. That's amazing.
Interesting, because so Paul Wood had one at Tilbury and then one at over Billericay. So interesting.
Very interesting. Right, very quickly.
The same bird.
We are running out of time. Gull rescued from Scotland. This was a couple of months ago, but we never got a chance to show it. So this just made me tickle me a little bit. So a gull was stuck in a bin in Scotland, and it got rescued. It got ringed, and it was then seen 2,900 kilometers away in Morocco, which is pretty mad. So it just shows that ringing can give us kind of information that we just wouldn't have otherwise. And then finally, you might have seen this one. UK's oldest known oyster catchers were discovered on England's east coast wetlands. So they were 41 years and 8 months old. I can't remember where they were actually now. I should remember this, but I can't. Does it say? Oh, where did it say that? Sorry.
Halfway down Snettisham, it says.
Likely at Snettisham. They were ringed as a chick, likely at Snettisham. I don't think it actually says. Titchwell Marsh. I don't know, but anyway. Oh, the Wash. I reckon it's on the Wash. There you go. Yeah. So 41-year-old for oyster catcher. That's mad, isn't it?
That's mental. That is.
Who would think that oyster catchers can live that long? Right. Don't forget, you can post your sightings on our website, ebws.org.uk. Please also, if you don't or can't you post them on our website for any reason, please use either Bird Track or eBird, because we do get all that information. It does come its way into our bird report, as we showed you earlier on. And people can follow us and post on social media, can't they? Blue Sky,
Yeah,
we're on there.
Sky.
We're on Facebook. I can't remember what are the things. Do you remember what they are? Top of your head?
No, no, I
I'll
can't.
get them up on the screen very, very quickly because I have got them prepped. And then kind of we've done everything, and it's going to be within 2 hours. Hold on. So here we go. This is Blue Sky. That's at essexbirdnews.bsky.social. And I know a lot of people are using Blue Sky now because it's quite a nice platform to use, quite good fun. We are still on Facebook, which is EBWS Info, at EBWS Info, I think. And we are on X as well, which we are at Essex Bird News on X. So if you don't already, please follow us on one or more of those sites. And of course, our website, as you all know, ebws.org.uk. You can log in and then you can record your sightings. So yeah, please follow us and don't forget to send your records in. Right. Anything last on the trap on the chat?
I think we're probably all good.
Pretty
But
good.
Matt, John Peacock said there was a 12-year-old barn owl on Anglia News tonight.
Or presenting?
Possibly. I was trying to make a joke then, but I couldn't think of one quick enough. So, sorry.
Oh my goodness, that'd be quite funny. Right, okay, 12-year-old Barno, that's pretty mad, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
good.
mental. Yeah.
Okay, I'll have a look at that. Right, let us see if I can get a video to play out with. So don't forget Minsmere self-drive on the Sunday the 8th. Be there for 2 o'clock. We'll meet in the car park and we're going to find nightjars, hopefully, and lots of other things beforehand. Bring your torches and bring some lunch and keep an eye on the weather. You might need to bring something else as well to put on your feet or your head. We're gonna have a ringing demo in July. That's the next one. Join our mailing list on the front page of our website. Go down to the bottom, fill in your details. We'll let you know by email. That's the only way you're going to find out about some of these things. You need to subscribe to our newsletter. And next year's schedule, as we said earlier on, is out in the next issue of Essex Birding. And if you haven't got that, why not join EBWS? It's only 16 quid for a year, and you get advance notice of all these things. Right.
Yep.
Are we ready for a video?
We just, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, we're all good. Yeah, Paul Everett and Brian Priestley said thanks for tonight's show. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching.
Thank you so much for watching.
Let's roll out with a bit of video.
Yes, this is going to be all of the entries in the spring 2025 competition. Thanks again to everyone who entered. Don't forget to enter the summer competition if you can. And we'll see you hopefully at the end of June.
At the end of June. Fingers crossed. Yes.
Fingers
Thanks
crossed.
for watching. Thanks for watching, guys. Well done, Matt. Good work.
Yeah, what I say. Thanks very much, guys. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you soon. Can you see a big black screen?
Yeah, big black screen. Yeah.
Good. Right, I'm going to say goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye. Bye all.